Hello friends, this is Coldrun. Welcome back to Final Fantasy Record Keeper, where we're going to be starting the fourth island on Volume 2, Play of Light and Shadow. Where could Tyro be? Any ideas, Psoon? Psoon? Where's Psoon gone? Psoon probably doesn't want to be in the lava land here. Tyro is with another in a different record. Who is this person again? Who are you? A talking rabbit? Have we met before? I get the feeling I know you. I am no rabbit. I am Namingway, the all-knowing. I came to answer your questions. Oh, to tell me about Tyro? But how do you know where he is? And who are you? I could hardly be all-knowing if I didn't know that. And you must perceive that I speak the truth. Huh? Yeah, well said, Elarra. Tyro is beyond the memory that you now trace. Do not fret, you will see him again. I hope you're right. Is Tyro with the Shadowsmith? You could just tell us the answer, don't let's play 20 questions. What does the Shadowsmith want with Tyro? So you wish to know his intention. Oh my god, our least favorite character already, Namingway. Just... a picture is worth 1,000 words. You should see for yourself. When he and Tyro vanished, you found the key to discovering the truth. The gem, right? Huh? You mean this stone? Now, align your mind with it. Okay, so you're actually being helpful. Good. Align with the stone? There you are, Elarra. Hey, Psoon. Dr. Mog and Psoon. I was wondering where you'd gotten off to. Hey, wait, where'd the talking rabbit go? Rabbit? What would a rabbit be doing here? In any case, no time for that, Kupo. You really don't want to explore more about the talking rabbit? You must come at once, Elarra. We found another door, Kupo. I'll be joining you this time. Excellent. Is that wise? You're still hurt. Gwar. I'll be fine, Kupo. I can't afford to rest until we find Tyro. But Dr. Mog... Sorry, I just put some wasp spray in the window, and I'm hoping that... I'm looking for the wasp. Hopefully it's gone at this point. We'll keep an eye on Dr. Mog, right, Wedge? Yup, you can count on us. The full party's going in except for Sid. I hope so. And except for Psoon, sorry. Okay, let's get going. By the way, I'm cutting a lot of this out now. This is an experiment, partly because I'm just really exhausted. I had COVID and I didn't have COVID. I had the COVID and flu vaccine last night, and I just feel really tired today. But I also am on kind of a tight schedule, and so I'm kind of gonna probably be cutting out most of the stuff that's just rehashing the older games. That without adding anything. Was this a false flag then? Like he's summoning... I think it was a false flag, like... with Seymour summoning enemies so that he can destroy them. Fiends so that he can destroy them. Yeah. What was that thing? The Aeon Anima, Kupo. For real? Talk about scary. Anima? What is it, Elarra? The name and form are different, but I sense the same warmth, like a mother's love for her children. Yeah. You sense correctly, Elarra. Nice pickup. Just like with Yord. Yep. Right on the money. Oh my god, that's amazing. This is just Yuna and Titus talking, and look at the gang all there, all like trying to fan out. I don't care if you're as hardened a veteran of the lore as Dr. Mog is, or if you're a newbie like Elarra. They're watching the sunset scene. That's kind of adorable. as I listen to them talk about this, or watch them talk about, you know, Kaida's talking about, once you beat Sin, then you can think about the future. I do worry about Elarra, about whether she's going to... Something about whatever we win in the record, or whatever we defeat overall, whether that's going to take her out. Whether it's going to require her sacrifice or her getting reabsorbed or something like that. I remember telling Tyro how heartwarming it was to see them together like this. Elarra, are you sure you're okay, Kupo? I'm fine. Even apart, we're sharing the burden. Glad you feel that connection still. The fun times are doubled and your worries feel far away. Don't worry, I still remember. Tyro's ahead of us. If we push on, we're bound to catch up. I hope so, but I don't know. I mean, eventually we will catch up. I just don't know the state that he'll be in. I'm coming, Tyro. She's determined. We're into the section of 10 that's Operation Mihen, I think it's called. The operation where Seymour gives the okay to use Machina to fight Sin. And, you know, Wakka's all pissed. And it was just an interesting moment where everyone's talking about their paths. The truth about Chappu was just revealed. And everyone kind of knows they're going to die. And Elarra just had this moment where she's thinking, like, where she's thinking about all these people on their paths, even if it's a path that leads to their death. And the more I see this and the more I see her looking at these people, well, gosh, I was going to say the more I feel like Elarra's bound to die, but again, the fact that I've seen the Magicite dungeons and it seems like Elarra's still around kind of gets rid of that notion. But I can at least say I would have thought she was on her way to die if not for that meta knowledge. Auron's eyes resemble the Shadowsmith's. I wonder why they don't remind me of the Shadowsmiths. I wonder why they don't resemble his at all. Why would Auron's eyes here remind Elarra of the Shadowsmith? This is Auron meeting Keenock. And I don't remember the history between them, but even here we can tell that they're opposed in some ways. I think it's that Auron has some a mission that he can't or doesn't want to tell Keenock and Seymour about. Serve Jack, and so is this must be saying that the Shadowsmith is going to that she's sensing some kind of keeping a promise in what the Shadowsmith is doing too, maybe. His gaze is like steel. Auron has a task he must complete, Kupo. What you see is his determination to stay on that path. Yeah, there we go. This path, like Yuna and Luzo, you mean? Yeah, and again, two paths which will lead to their deaths. Or which, I mean, it doesn't lead to Yuna's death, but it's a path which, in most circumstances of a summoner going to face and defeat Sin, would lead to her death. That's right, Kupo. Everyone has a burden to bear. We all struggle to see our journey through to the end. Does that go for the Shadowsmith too? Boy, it seems like it. All the Sin moments in this game are just, they're so good. It scratches that specific sea monster terror itch that I personally have, and it does it really well. I have no idea what I was thinking when I ran after Sin that day. Why is Elarra running after him or swimming after him? But before I knew what I was doing, there I was, chasing him down like a thief at market. Maybe I was angry. Maybe I wanted to go home. I kept thinking of Xanarkand and my old man. What is this place? Why can I see through everyone? Is this... What is this place, actually? These are the spirits? Is this like the far plane touching Spira? I was going to say the near plane, but no. Where are you all going? Yeah, these are all the dead crusaders heading towards... Hopefully heading towards the far plane. Got Bahamut here. Who's that kid? I see you're still here. Huh? Many stories ended here today. But yours goes on, I see. What? It's a fair reply. Sin had come and gone, but I've remained here. You two still in one piece? I'll be okay. I'm all right, Kupo. Good. Let's get going. I have a feeling we're going to get kicked out of the painting in a sec, though. Oh, no, we get a little bit more. Thank goodness you're both okay. Not everyone was so lucky. Yeah, most people were not. The vast, vast majority. Swift retreat. Satisfied. What do you mean? Yeah, Keenock's a bag of dicks, isn't he? Those who turned from Yevon died while the faithful live on. Oh my god, was that why he did it? Oh, he's more of a bag of dicks than I even thought. Past 10 years changed you, I see. What's he mean by that? Don't tell me he went along with it to purge the unbelievers. You mean he spurred those soldiers on knowing this would happen? Yeah, Biggs is one of the emotional souls of the game, strangely enough. Let go of me, Wedge. This was hard to watch for him. This is hard to watch for me, even. God. What's with this rabble? You ought to watch the company you keep, Auron. I'm not sure why Auron didn't push to stop it. You do not look so well. But now more than ever, you must be the people's strength, their confidence. She and Elarra got the exclamation-y point. Anyone else would be expected to show their sorrow. But you are a summoner. Your spear is hope. It's sort of similar to what Lulu said with the no more tears next time. I don't know that I agree with it, but I see that it's a complex thing. Until sin is defeated, you must not relent. Do you understand? Yes, I understand. It must be hard for Yuna to carry on when she's just as torn up about this as us. The way I see it, people who keep going at a time like this are the strong ones. They certainly are strong. I don't know that it means that the people who don't keep going are not strong, but that's a trickier question. Like Tyro, even though he'd never admit it. Yeah, Tyro put on a brave face in front of us. He did? We're back. Kupo. The mournful Kupo. Looks like that record took a toll on you. Gwah. Yeah, that was a rough one. Got some fun sections with the Blitzball tournament, followed by the worst I don't think the Crusade is worse than the... God, I don't know. What's more brutal, the Crusade, the failure of Operation Mihen, or Sin's attack on the undefended island? I think it's the undefended island, but there's something even more tragic here with the intentionality of how the people were sacrificed to it. Thanks, Psoon. We'll be all right. But so many people were lost. I did nothing but watch, Kupo. I knew what would happen, but I did not lift a finger to stop it. I'm just as responsible for turning a blind eye, Kupo. You are. You are just as responsible, but even then, I don't think it's you. I think it's the situation you're put in. Because if you do stop it, bad stuff happens out here in the real world. in your real world. Don't say that. You're not like him, Dr. Mog. Yeah, you are not like Seymour. Yeah, you've got it wrong. Besides, we're not supposed to change history. I don't like it either, but there's nothing we could do. Unless there is, but that's, again, that's the game I wish for. That's not the game this is, and I've accepted that. Why can't we change history anyway? Because it'll cause, like, memory bursts. That's true. The memory bursts happen no matter what. What would be so bad about altering its course? Well, it's an unwritten rule, Kupo. Biggs, that was a brilliant observation. There's some doors best left unopened. Now I'm concerned. You know what happened on Moogle Isle, don't you? So some memory bursts are worse than others? Huh. Yeah, so that's not all, Kupo, because that must be it, right? It has to be that the memory bursts from saving the records are better than the memory bursts from destroying them? Or from changing them? There's no way of knowing what could happen when a memory burst is triggered by altering a record. But I've learned my lesson. So Dr. Mog was the one who tried to change history in the past. It tried to change history on Moogle Island. Why was Dr. Mog upset with the Arcanium then? Or was Dr. Mog part of the Arcanium at the time? I told Tyro time after time that history should not be tinkered with, but seeing that is easy, Kupo. Living with it is hard. Knowledge and experience are very, very different things after all. Oh. Maybe that's why I need to see for myself. What are you talking about? I have something to tell you all. Which we'll do right now, Doma Castle. So, oh god, Doma Castle. Boy, we're going from tragedy to tragedy. I'm going to continue with this now because, again, these go faster for me now that I'm kind of just... I'm skimming through the parts that are just repeats of what I already know. What awaits us at Doma Castle beyond more terror and horrifyingness? That's everything the rabbi said to me. The rabbit said to me. Maybe the rabbit's also a rabbi, but yeah, so she had to tell about Namingway. What do you think, Sid? What on earth is that rabbit story? I've never heard of anything like it. Nor have I, Kupo. If neither of you know, I'd say there's something fishy going on with that bunny. It could be some kind of a trap. I don't think it's a trap. Namingway would not trick us. No, I think we can trust it. Can't explain why, it's just a feeling. Gwah, 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 gwah. Soon is active, and Soon's not the only animal that's active. Hey, pigeon. Gwah. Quit pecking me, I'm not questioning Elarra. Oh, that was a protective Gwah. Yeah, we're just worried, that's all. I think we should go along with whatever Elarra says, Kupo. He does have kind of the closest the inside track on whatever's going on. Dr. Mog? Oh, Dr. Mog? It's not like we have any other leads to go on, and it can't hurt to try it out, surely. Fine. If you're both on board, count us in. We trust you on this, Elarra. I appreciate it. Here goes. What are you trying to do, though? Tyro. Whoa! Is Tyro back? Did she summon Tyro back? Larger. So we got Biggs and Wedge here. Another island is the record is gone. Is this like Shadow Biggs and Shadow Wedge, or alternate universe Biggs and alternate universe? That's clearly Biggs and Wedge across the table. Record gone. Now we can fight them. Power depleted. What next? How many times? What will it win against forces? Really, battle times? Since the lost count. So this is clearly something like an issue of like maybe at some point they change the records and they're trying again. They're trying different paths. This is some year of hell from Voyager nonsense. Not nonsense. This is really kind of cool going on here. Cross the... If the chrono... We could have saved... We can't... This world. The chrono... I know what broke. Have you met with you more times? Elarra. Is that Tyro? So I knew that was Biggs and Wedge. I don't know who was on the near side of the table. I thought that might be Shadowsmith, but I don't know for sure. That's my guess, though. What was that? There were 3 men talking, Kupo. I think it was... Were you able to share that with... So that was the Shadowsmith. You were able to share that vision with the others. Like, interesting. But my voice didn't sound the same. It was deeper. Like you had aged. But I assumed that Wedge was just like a Lalafell sort of type, like that was, well, that I assumed that Wedge is like in his 20s. Shadowsmith sounded younger to me, Kupo. I don't remember any conversations like that with the special director and Wedge. Elarra, was that light? Yes, it was coming from the fragment that the Shadowsmith dropped. Ah! It was projecting from that. What on earth could it be a piece of, Koopa? It was the Chronos something. So it responded to Elarra's thoughts, huh? But the spike in magic power I observed makes it dangerous to use, even if it isn't a trap, Kupo. I recommend you leave it be for a while, Elarra. Understood. In any case, our next priority is to explore the ruins, Kupo. Got it. Was that really the Shadowsmith? I think it was either now or in a past time. Or in the future. Why would the Shadowsmith appear when I was thinking of Motherfucker. Tyro grows up to become the Shadowsmith, doesn't he? The Shadowsmith is like a future Tyro, alternate universe Tyro, grown-up Tyro. They're the same person. I'm 99% sure now. Dr. Mog, do you value your friends, your family, and your kingdom, Kupo? Are you about to warn him about the poison? You can't do that, are you? Is it? No, he's not. I know he's teetering, but he wasn't. I thought that was a line he was going to cross, and it's not. God, oh, you could feel the pain of Dr. Mog here. This is the dilemma Tyro faced each time he ventured into these memories. I have given him a terrible task, Cooper, as long as you acknowledge that, because you have. And maybe for all I know, this is the specific... Putting him through this is what led him to become Shadowsmith. If that ends up being the case. I'm going to roll with that for the moment. I really think that's the case. Why does Shadow want a word with Biggs? Is that girl with you? Is he thinking of Realm? This is taking too long. Kefka could poison the water any moment now. Shouldn't bring a child to a place like this. He's not wrong. I hear you, Shadow. But this girl, Elarra, she may be young, but she can hold her own. She fights with fire in her belly. She believes in protecting what she holds dear. I've seen it with my own eyes. It's funny, we've spent so much time seeing the Record Keeper characters draw inspiration and parallels from the events in the records. And this is one of the very few times we're seeing it the other way around. Once you witness that kind of determination, you'd never tell her to back out of a fight. And I don't know if Shadow's thinking of himself or thinking of Realm. I think he's thinking of Realm. Gonna tell me she's too young. That's why I'm here. I swore to keep her safe. And I stand by that oath. All right. Let's head after them then. Yeah. Going to witness the poisoning of Doma. Unfortunately. Dr. Mog, I know the more than anyone the pain of losing a home, loved ones, yet I said nothing, Kupo. This is, yeah, seeing Cyan in the aftermath of just having discovered his wife and child and his whole town. This is no wonder they put Mog in this spot. What right do I have to go after Cyan now? Tyro always pushed on no matter what. Kupo, Tyro never had any of this past experience. I mean, the version we saw didn't. He saw the same tragedy and suffering, but you taught him the records must be preserved, so he never faltered. And now you go and say something like that? You make it sound like everything he did was for nothing. I don't think that's fair. I think that Mog has baggage that Tyro didn't. That was way out of line. I'm sorry. You're right, it was out of line. Yes, it was out of line. You should have kept in context. You could have kept in your head the context of my situation versus Tyro's. I see that now. I'm no mere survivor from Moogle Isle anymore. I'm master of the Royal Archives, protector of the records, and Tyro is in my charge, Kupo. Yeah, I think I'm glad he came to this conclusion. I mean, at least assuming that there is something really bad about changing the records. Because if not, then he's screwed up. But assuming there's something really bad about changing the records, this sounds like the right conclusion to come to. I think he should just have more grace for himself. For struggling with it, I mean. There's no sense in dwelling on it. That's how we keep the records safe. That's right, Elarra. Well said, Kupo. Seems Elarra has less doubt in her mind than me, Kupo. Kids have less doubt in general. In some ways. I think in most ways, kids tend to be more fervent than adults. How embarrassing. That's really not something to be embarrassed about. Nuance is not embarrassing. Is something wrong, Dr. Mog? Don't mind me, Kupo. Let's catch up with Sabin and Cyan. Oh, but before that. That's right, they get to do a mech suit ride. At least there's some fun in this. Those are ghosts, right? We're aboard the Phantom train now. Ah, poor Mog. I can't bear to look, Kupo. I guess Mog is scared of ghosts. Understandable, but these are not unfriendly ghosts. They're just chilling. This Phantom train's a nightmare. Do we talk to the ghost? Yeah, we talk to the ghost. 100% we talk to the ghost. Excuse me? Is the ghost going to join our party or fight us? I'm not sure which. What's with this guy? He seems to want to accompany us. Ah, we got a party member. Nice. Oh, what's going on? Yeah, what a nice person. I mean, ghost. Yeah, see, this is what happens. You make new friends. Some of them are dead, and that's okay. Some ghosts are liable to attack, Koopa. Don't go badgering too many. It's a bit late to tell us now, Dr. Mog. I feel so bad for Dr. Mog here. He's clearly got a major fear of ghosts, and this is just got to be a nightmare for him. Some master you turned out to be. Yeah, just get tossed up there. At least he's light. Presumably, I assume Moogles aren't that dense. just gets picked up. Oh my goodness. That's fantastic. Like a piece of luggage, like a piece of pom-pommed luggage. Interesting. So this is the Phantom train fight. I thought we were going to have it It's a small thing, but it's a little disappointing that they didn't repeat the Phantom Train fight by having it be us running away from it as it, hunts us down from behind. Oh well. I have no memory of the last words I spoke to my family and friends, Kupo. This is just after the whole Phantom Train segment we just wrapped up. Huh? When I left, I took it for granted that I'd see them all again. But then the memory burst struck out of the blue. You never even got as much as Cyan just got. I keep thinking about the things I wish I could have said and heard. That must be hard for you. I hope Cyan is okay. He is not. As long as there's life left in us, we must press onward, Kupo. Life can take on new meaning once we carry on the fight. And back out into the sun. The fire-clouded sun. You're back. How did it go? Sid. No sign of Tyro, then? I'm afraid not. Oh, Namingway's back. The only way to put your I don't remember what voice I gave Namingway the other day. The only way to put your sadness behind you is to find new hope. Hey, that rabbit again. Where did you come from? I am Namingway, not a rabbit. I am a lopperet. Sorry, Namingway. It's hard not being able to protect what you love. It can gnaw at you and twist your heart. Just as the twists of fate have taken hold of him. You mean the Shadowsmith? When Dr. Mog met the one you want to protect, there was a spark of hope. Notice how Namingway didn't mention that, they didn't correct that. The one I want to protect and Dr. Mog? To think of it, I've never heard how they met, but somehow this rabbit knows. The Shadowsmith seemed to know too. Just who is this rabbit? Elarra? So Namingway is not visible to anyone else. Oh, or Namingway scampered away. What are you talking about? Huh? Where's this Namingway then? Right here. There's no one there, Kupo. You've been talking to yourself. You gotta believe. Come on, you gotta have more trust in Elarra than that. But he was just. Gwah? Even Soon doubts you. The betrayal. Top 10 worst anime betrayals. I'm the only one who can see him? Elarra, can you pass on the message? I don't remember. I don't remember even the voice from a second ago. Can you pass on the message to Dr. Mog? Huh? Tyro and Dr. Mog met after the Storm of Oblivion. Tyro and Dr. Mog met after the Storm of Oblivion. Okay. Elarra, how did you know that? Namingway just told me. Their struggle to keep the record safe began that day. We're getting a truth bomb dropped on us. Okay. And next, I guess we're returning to Mysidia for a brief stint in 4. I don't remember where we last left off with Final Fantasy IV, but I think we bounced around with this when the game has gone there. 8 years earlier. Unexpected? What a mess. This was the Storm of Oblivion. Kupo. If their actions were to prevent this devastation spreading, then perhaps... No, what they did was unforgivable. They were merely performing an experiment, Kupo. So this is some... Yeah, this is some mess with the timeline stuff. There was no hope of the Storm of Oblivion counteracting the energy from the records. There was no hope the Storm of Oblivion would counteract the energy from the records. They must have known such immense power was not to be meddled with, Kupo. So the tragedy on Moogle Island was because they ignored the pleas of you and the other moderates? That's terrible. The fault is ours for not stopping them. So someone wanted to do a risky experimentation And Dr. Mog knew it probably wouldn't work, but didn't fight hard enough. In his words. Not to mention blocking the creation of the Royal Arcanium, Kupo. But you took away their access to the paintings. With their hands tied, they can't cause any more harm. I hope not. What they did, but they'll stop at nothing to achieve their goals, Kupo. We must continue to be vigilant. Will you help me, Sid? Why else do you think I would travel to the Royal Arcanium? You can count on me. I'll keep an eye on things for you. So, they're with the Royal Archives. The Arcanium is Shadowsmith's realm, right? Thank you, Kupo. Is something else bothering you? I have a nagging sense of dread. Did you notice, Sid? The paintings have been acting strangely, Kupo. And what caused the Storm of Oblivion to appear out of nowhere? Unknown forces are at work, Kupo. So that's why you came all this way, despite the chaos involved with dismantling the Ministry of Records? It was the Ministry of Records, they dismantled it. I had a feeling I might learn more here, but... Kupo? Oh no, there's a child on the ground. This is Tyro. Child, where? Over here, this way, Sid. He's still warm, and he's breathing, Kupo. Must have been caught up in the storm. Have to... Meh. Hey, stay with me. He's passed out, but he should be alright. I doubt the same can be said for his parents, wherever they are. Under the circumstances, it's a wonder he's alive. Perhaps it's fate that brought us here today. You may be right, Kupo. I'll need some looking after. I'll take care of him, Kupo. You. What do you know about children? I read about them in a book once. Are you alright, Kupo? Uh-huh. I'm Dr. Mog. This is Sid, Kupo. What's your name? Presumably the boy's name is Tyro. I assume that's what they're giving us, but they're being a little more mysterious about it, so I'll try to it gives me some doubt. Is this one of my memories? Is this Elarra? No, it's Tyro. Hey, snap out of it. It's got to be Dr. Mog, right? Or Shadowsmith, maybe? I guess it depends. I assume it's the present. But from when? I don't remember this. Tyro. Ah, you're washed up on the shores of Mysidia. Gotcha. Okay, this is right after the shipwreck. When... Interesting time choice, because this is right when... I mean, I keep thinking of how they choose these in the context of potential record keeper plot stuff. And so this is right when Tyro is... Right when Cecil, rather, is about to face his past, atone for what he did, and change his identity. Or change his job, but change his path, tangibly. So Tyro's meeting the Elder here in Mysidia. Well, Tyro, I would guess that fate has brought you two together for a reason. Perhaps your destiny awaits you on Mount Ordeals too. So maybe that's where... I'll bet that's where he meets the Shadowsmith again. The same way that the Dark Knight has to face himself. That's Cecil, the Paladin Cecil has to face his Dark Knight self. I'll bet that's where Tyro meets Shadowsmith. So we climbed Mount Ordeal. Cecil's now a Paladin. I guess some battles must be fought alone. And no Shadowsmith appearances just yet, but Tyro is certainly impacted by this. Like, it's clear he's trying to see some of himself and see in what Cecil's going through, but it seems right now like in sort of the general way, like I hope I have the strength to do what must be needed, that sort of thing. That's true, but Tyro. Ah, here we go. Yes. Shadowsmith. I didn't expect to run into you here. Fate works in strange ways. You know this man, Tyro? Cecil. Cecil. The record could be corrupted if Cecil gets tangled up in this. Go catch up with Tella, Cecil. This is just an old friend. I'll catch you. We're just gonna say hello. But... quick! You ought to be more concerned for yourself, Tyro. Let's end this cat and mouse game. Hand it over. Does Tyro have the jail thing? Oh, no, he wants the dampening canvas back. The one... okay. Huh? Yeah, that's not what I expected. So that's why you attacked us? But what do you need it for? Give it to me. Got Dark Knight Shadowsmith here, or Warlock Shadowsmith. Ah! Yeah, Cecil's not gonna just leave right now. Tyro. Stay back! I'll be okay. I have to do this myself. I guess if anyone would understand this, it's Cecil right now. Reluctant to get a hero involved, Thought as much. You're weak, Tyro. You fail to protect that which you hold precious, suffering loss after loss with nothing to show for it. Weakness is a sin. Is it not time to make amends? That's my burden to bear. Nice block, Cecil. No, it's not, Tyro. Remember our battle with Scarmiglione. Huh? Don't interfere. This is between Tyro and me. You confronted your dark past alone, did you not? Are you calling Tyro a fault to be rectified? Good comeback, Cecil. What drives you to fight, Tyro? I fight to protect. And do you find fault with that? No, what I'm doing is right. Oh, nice way to change it up. And I'll keep fighting to protect, but I have to protect. So that's a nice change up from the whole solo fight, I thought. That I wasn't expecting that. Well played, Cecil. I don't know why you want the dampening canvas, Shadowsmith, but I'm not going to give it to you. You think you can defy me? I'm not in this alone. I made it this far with the support of my allies. I almost lost sight of that. Cecil, lend me a hand. Of course. To battle, Tyro. Sure. If someone says to battle, you don't say sure. You say like huzzah or something. You don't just say sure. All right, so he's... oh, get blocked by the new paladin. But you have a support job behind you with Tyro. Is this an actual Cecil limit break? Or soul break? If so, it's a cool one, but no, I don't think so. I think this is something unique to this fight. Because that was the... yeah, oh, that's great. The Dark and Light Cecil and the and Tyro jumping in. That's a really cool one. Oh, there was a conversation going on the other day on Twitter about whether they should remake 4, and I personally think that 4, the original 4 remade with, even without a huge graphical update, but remade with balanced mechanics, like Edward doesn't suck, and like characters that you can swap in and out, like more of a flexible party, like maybe you get Yang, like when you save Yang from when you help him recover after the Sylphs, like he rejoins your party, maybe some extra side quests around that or extra main quests around him. Same thing with Edward, same thing with Fusoya sticks around, and maybe Golbez joins. No, Golbez, that would come too late. And same with Fusoya, but like rebalancing so that you can add more party members in, sort of like what the After Years got right there, and including band attacks, like just like what we saw just there. I think a lot of that could make a 4 remake really sweet. Gah. Yep, there it is. There it is. This is all wrong. Yep, it's Tyro is Tyro reflecting as Shadowsmith in the mirror. What do you mean? Yep, see ya. Okay. So that confirms it. Wait. Pretty flippin' cool. Pretty flippin' cool. Huh? Where am I? Oh, I'm back. You're back along with your double. Your older self, I'm guessing. Ah! You surprised me, Tyro. I didn't expect to see you wield such power alongside a hero. I felt a bond between Cecil and me during the fight. It was much stronger than when we defeated Chaos. I know nothing of this power. Perhaps fate is not the arbiter of all things. This may not yet... You don't know? But... if what I saw reflected in the mirror is true... Wait, he doesn't know? Because Tyro now clearly knows the connection, but Shadowsmith doesn't know? I'm afraid the time for talk is over. But mark my words. You'll return that dampening canvas to me. Shadowsmith! Shadowsmith is an anagram for Tyro. Uh-oh, he headed into the ruins. Another record could be at risk. I have to stop him this time. There's no time to look for Dr. Mog and the others. Even recording? Papa, yeah. There's no time to look for Dr. Mog and the others. I have to go alone. I have to do this myself. Didn't you just learn from the Final Fantasy IV record that you should rely on others? I can't allow that, Kupo. Dr. Mog, but time is running out. The Royal Archives is tasked with safekeeping the records. I cannot permit the use of any more feces than... Force. I cannot permit the use of any more force than necessary, Kupo. The threat is fast approaching. You don't even know what the threat is. You don't believe me? Of course I believe you. I've spoken with the proper authorities, Kupo. It's too late for that. Every time we don't act quickly enough, it just ends up... Tyro, it is our job to study these heroes and their histories, preserving the records of their deeds, Kupo. Our job is not to fight. When is this taking place? What have those heroes or their tales done for us? Kupo? We have the power to fight back against the threat we face. Why shouldn't we use it? This is clearly some other time. I mean, I know the setting was a different time. I thought he got warped there or something, but no, this is a memory of a different time, I think. Or maybe it's a future time. Tyro, I don't like the sound of what I'm hearing. Sorry, A keeper should know better. Ah. You only say that because you don't know what they're capable of. So... this is because he spent time at this point going through the record realms and seeing what they're doing, or because he knows whatever enemy this is capable of? These minions of chaos. Okay, no, he's talking about the enemies. I don't know where. I mean, this is so strange. That was a memory. That was a vision he was having. Ah, gotcha. What was all that about? Never argued with Dr. Mog like that before, so that was another timeline, maybe? Am I looking at the future? Yeah, or the future. Or both. Sure is raining hard. Huh? So this is the flashback to when he was side by side with Sephiroth. Or Zack was side by side with Sephiroth, I guess. What's wrong? Nothing. Just nerves, I guess. Oh, shit! Yep. Okay. Okay. This is, so Tyro's experiencing the Cloud memory that's really Zach's memory, and this is making it click for Cloud. Someone else, yeah, this is, okay. I guess it makes, something's different about Cloud in this record. This is someone else's memory. Wait, that would explain the argument with Dr. Mog before. So he thinks he was experiencing someone else's memory, and he's saying that would make sense because he saw the reflection of Shadowsmith that was himself. He's taking this quite well. If this is, I might be misunderstanding it, but I'm assuming that they're saying that Shadowsmith is future Tyro, and he's taking it extremely well. Am I human? Yeah, I mean, God, he's going through really something very similar to Sephiroth. And so this is where Sephiroth is at the Nibelheim reactor, just kind of seeing all the monsters that were made by Hojo overflowing and thinking, is that me? He's doubting his origins. That's the start of Sephiroth's descent into madness, the despair that triggers the atrocities to come. Yeah. Why is the Shadowsmith doing this? I know the reason. For the Shadowsmith, despair is... Despair is what to the Shadowsmith? Again, I see... Oh, gosh, I see the outlines of this, of where this is going, but not the specifics here yet. So my best guess at this point, my best understanding of it, because I think it's more than... I think it should be more than a guess. I think the game is trying to tell me I'm just not that good at piecing it together. I think it's that Tyro eventually becomes the Shadowsmith, but he becomes a version of the Shadowsmith. But this is like a particular... The Shadowsmith is a particular timeline where Tyro gets so maybe weighed down by the despair of all these records that he has to... All this despair that he has to let play out and wants to figure out a way out of it. But I don't know. I think it's still tied to something I don't have all the information yet about. I think it's still tied to like something deep in the record realm, something about the purpose of the record realms altogether that I still don't understand. I heard a voice. Hold on. He heard a voice. I thought that was just Sephiroth saying it's no use. So this is Sephiroth in the library, kind of before the burning. Someone said it's no use. It's got to be the Shadowsmith. Huh? What is it, Tyro? I heard a voice just now. Sephiroth? Where could it be? That's got to be the Shadowsmith voice. Interesting that it sounds like Sephiroth's. I don't hear a thing. Jenova confirmed to be an ancient. Wait, Jenova was an ancient? I thought she was like an extraterrestrial. Maybe that's what... I guess that's what the... maybe that's what the ancients were? I don't remember what the ancients are in that case, or why she's an ancient and Aerith is an ancient. Use of Mako Reactor 1 approved for use. My mother's name is Jenova. Yeah, so this is where he's starting to put this all together. Where did Dr. Mog source such power? Dr. Mog, could this voice be... So this is... He's hearing Shadowsmith go through something similar as Sephiroth. He's hearing himself go through something similar as Sephiroth. Where did Dr. Mog source such power? So... What power is he talking about? Dr. Mog's magic? I assume that magic is just normal in that world. I don't know. I don't know what power he's talking about. Professor Gast, why didn't you tell me anything? Why did you die? Where could Dr. Mog have found it? Let me be alone. Let's go, Tyro. Okay. Yeah, going through that same motion, those same motions. It's beyond saving now. This world is doomed. Is something about the Record Realm, the power the Record Realm's drawing, like, destroying the world the same way that drawing Mako is going to destroy this world? Traitor? Traitor to who? You ignorant traitor, I'll tell you. This planet originally belonged to the Cetra. Cetra was an itinerant race. They would migrate in, settle the planet, then move on, right? At the end of their hard, long journey, it was said they would find the promised land in supreme happiness. A journey to the promised land. What could the Shadowsmith's promised land be? Those who disliked journeying appeared. They stopped their migrations, built shelters, and elected to lead an easier life. They took that which the Cetra and the planet had made without giving back one whit in return. Those are your ancestors. So, there was the Cetra as a unit, and then there was a subgroup of the Cetra that was like, nah, we're gonna stay here. Sephiroth. Long ago, disaster struck the planet. Your ancestors escaped. They survived because they hid. So the Cetra are different from the Ancients. Maybe? This isn't spoilers. Like, if you know the answer, just let me know, I guess, because I know I've played this game in Crisis Core. I just don't... It never quite clicked, or it clicked in and didn't really stick for me, I guess. The planet was sacrificed... So, there were these groups of beings. The Cetra. They wandered from planet to planet. They found Earth. So the Cetra wandered off, but some stayed behind. And then the planet... And then something else came in. That was Genova, who's an ancient, but not the Cetra, because she's a calamity from... Who's a different calamity. The planet was saved by sacrificing the Cetra. So somehow sacrificing most of the Cetra? All of the Cetra? I'm definitely lost on that. Now all that's left of the Cetra is in these reports. What does that have to do with you? Don't you see? An ancient named Genova was found in it. Yeah. The Genova Project. The Genova Project wanted to produce people with the powers of the Ancients, or the Cetra. So the Cetra are the Ancients, but the Ancients were settled on the planet, and Genova crashed in, and she was also an Ancient, but a different type of Ancient. I am what was produced. Produced? Yes. Professor Gast, leader of the Genova Project and genius scientist, produced me. I don't know Gast's relationship with Hojo. I get that Hojo was a successor of some kind, but beyond that, I don't remember. Have all you love destroyed and taken from you. I can't imagine the sheer hopelessness and despair. I think that he'll either have to imagine it, or a part of him already has imagined it. And just because I'm probably cutting a lot of this out. This is when Sephiroth has just burned and slashed pretty much everything, including Tifa. And this is like a... Mother, let's take the planet back together. So, oh god, the fact that he calls her mother is giving me like big Yord, or what is it, sir? Giving me big like Yord and Shadowsmith vibes. So who is Tyro's mother? I've thought of a great idea. Let's go to the promised land. And that's all an illusion, like about the whole wings and the woman's face mask, the humanoid face mask. That's all an illusion. Like, she doesn't really look like that. It's all just metal put over the kind of the actual Jenova, isn't it? They've come again, Mother. With her superior power, knowledge, and magic, Mother was destined to become the ruler of this planet. But they, those worthless creatures, are stealing the planet from Mother. So, the worthless creatures in this case are humans who, I'm guessing, I think I may have misunderstood before, humans who were not Cetra. They were just living on the planet and hid when the Cetra sacrificed themselves to stop Jenova, who was maybe a rogue Cetra. But now I'm here with you, so don't worry. Yeah, taking off all the nonsense binding her. Right, and she wasn't even her. That was right. The thing that's like safer Sephiroth, or like some of those final bosses, like that's Jenova. Like those weird blobby monster things. What about my sadness, my family, friends, the sadness of having my hometown taken away from me? The same as your sadness. Ha, my sadness, what do I have to be sad about? I am the chosen one. I have been chosen to be the leader of this planet. I have orders to take the planet back from you stupid people for the Cetra. What should I be sad about? These are the same Cetra who sacrificed themselves to stop Jenova, right? Sephiroth, I trusted you. No, you're not the Sephiroth I used to know. Somebody that I used to know. You didn't have to kill my town. Burn them to the ground and act like we were nothing. Okay, I'm gonna stop that right now. Ooh. And then the finale of Play of Light and Shadow. You can now go to alternate plane. Alternate plane. Okay. Huh? If I remember right, the record ends abruptly when Cloud confronts Sephiroth. And then it switches back to the present day, right? I don't remember where in the present day, but yeah. There's no sign of either. Why hasn't the record ended? Despair will drive anyone to madness. It blackens even the purest soul and the strongest of faith. Is that what happened to you, Shadowsmith? I'm so sorry about my nose, about constantly, like, rubbing my nose. It's constantly itchy and I don't know why. You relived Nibelheim before I could settle things. Another unexpected turn. You relived Nibelheim before I could settle things. So he was hoping to settle things before Tyro relives Nibelheim. Because, is it because Tyro realizes the truth of the Shadowsmith more here, and the Shadowsmith was hoping to get him before that? Your despair, it's... What is it? It's comparable to it's comparable. That is a cool battlefield. Holy crap. What is this place? An orphaned record. The perfect place to dispose of you. The symbol of my lost hope. So this is the version of Tyro is the version of the Shadowsmith that is like, it's sort of like me confronting a much more or less extreme version, but like me confronting my 14 or 15-year-old self that still had a lot of hopes and dreams and aspirations that my 40-year-old self would be ashamed of and want to destroy and be like, I never thought of those things. Much more extreme version of that. So I'm the living embodiment of your despair. It's because I wasn't strong enough to protect Elarra, right? The deja vu I felt, those were records you'd experienced. The resonance that occurs when entering a record. It must have caused our memories to intertwine. Oh! Is that why they have similar... Is that why they're sharing memories? I thought it was because they were the same person. Have you come from the future, then? Yeah, okay, they are. Yeah. Not quite. I'm from a different time in another world. Yeah, so, okay. Dr. Mog has spoken of dimensional distortion in parallel worlds, has he not? You came from a parallel world? How? You needn't worry, given that you won't be around much longer. I will stop you. My duty demands it. There are no heroes to hide behind this time. Do you still believe you can best me? You don't know about the power of friendship, do you, Shadowsmith? Eek. Elarra, everybody! Tyro. You made it here unscathed, Kupo. We were so worried. This also explains why Biggs has such respect for Tyro and the Shadowsmith. Because, of course, he would have respect for both of them. I had faith in you. Sorry to make you worry. But how did you get here? We made a wish to be taken to where you were, Tyro. Someone told us we could find you now, Tyro. So maybe Namingway is like one of the guardians of the timelines or the alternate dimensions or the ways between dimensions, the rift or something. I guess that's because the Shadowsmith is here with you, huh? So the Shadowsmith... Yes. I see you figured it out too, Elarra. You couldn't put a space there? Fate is always throwing obstacles in my path. But perhaps it's good... God dagnabbit. Perhaps it's good fortune. Now I can pluck all the thorns from my side in one fell swoop and claim what I have come for. Special Director. Stop it, please. I know you're... That's enough, Elarra. I'm not here to answer to you. But... we must stop the Shadowsmith, Kupo. Stand with me, everyone. It's time to erase my loathsome past and sever the threads of fate. I value the present too much. I'll put an end to your plans and protect what's mine. Here we go. Shadowsmith boss fight. Again, but... So, is he going to break out the two Magicite? Is he going to use them as, like, summoning anima sort of deal? Alright, we'll start with Magic Breakdown. Multi-Break. Because those do stack, I know for sure. Life Siphon. And Power Chain. Power Chain Warranty. So that'll make Wedge's next couple of abilities. I don't remember its next ability or next couple much faster. Now we will Flare you. Flare, Chain Faraga, Ripping Blast, Defend, and more Life Siphoning. We want to push towards the Soul Break as fast as possible. Oh, you know Flare too, but your Flare sucks. Ripping Blast. I would even want to spend a Cure... Yeah, I guess I'll spend a Curaja, because that'll build up the Soul Break gauge. I should have done that last time just for the Soul Break gauge build-up. Now we can Boulder Blow. Those too bad there's... Because that gives Biggs Earth Infusion, but he has no Earth abilities. Oh well. It's good on its own. It's a good burst anyway. So he's summoned it. Wait, that was Mist Dragon. Yeah, we'll do that again. Yeah, it's just good damage. Where Magic Breakdown doesn't have an expiration on it, does it? The debuff from that? I don't think it does, but I could be wrong. It probably does, actually. Trickster, good. That'll buff up our Ripping Blast. And, yeah, sure, let's keep Life Siphoning. Multi-Break again, because I think that does wear off. I just don't remember how long. Yeah, Neo Bahamut, that's fine. Because it's like a crappy Neo Bahamut. Okay. Arbiter's Tome is a support thing. Yeah, it's like Protect, Shell, Haste, I think. Yeah, Nature's Wrath, sure. And another Boulder Blow. And might as well just Ripping Blast while we have that buff. Magicka Orare, yeah, sure. It's a heal, we don't really need it, but it's fun to use. These are some flashy, cool abilities. These Soul Breaks, it's such... The game's Soul Breaks are just so freaking good. They really are. They're like... they're right up there with some of the best limit breaks in any of the in it. No, they are. I mean, they're better than most limit... They're visually cooler than most limit breaks in... Like, really... Ever. Like, they're some of the best limit break animations, Soul Break animations, limit break animations... that the Final Fantasy series has ever put out. They're up there with some of the stuff you see in 14, in 12, and they're just great. Really, just a major strength of this game. Which is not something I expected. I knew this was going to be like a sprite game. I didn't expect them to get so flashy and creative with the art assets. Ugh. It's over, Shadowsmith. Hey, Wedge, did we just beat the special director? There's two chapters left, no way. We're not dreaming, are we? I don't know where we are, but it's not a dream. Strange, Kupo. If that fragment was the source of the Shadowsmith's magic. He seemed fatigued, Kupo, like he was preoccupied with something. So, it seemed like he was holding something back, because we know there's that, like, possessing part of him. So maybe he was preoccupied with holding it back, and now it's going to be free, whatever it was inside him. Ah. Shadowsmith, I don't believe you have evil in your heart. Please tell us why you've done this. Elarra. Yes? Run. Huh? Your time is up. Now it's the thing that's inside him bursting out, I think. How unfortunate. Now it's my turn to have some fun. I don't know what this is, though. This is the thing that I don't really have a context for. Ah! Elarra! So we got Yord and Uller busting out, but I don't think it's them. Is that Magicite? What? This magic, it's... Ah! Hey, what's going on? You probably shouldn't be standing so close. This place won't hold together much longer with that magic emanating from the Shadowsmith, Kupo. Think of me and make a wish. Is it someone that Shadowsmith made a bargain with to go back to his past or something? That voice. Who is it, Elarra? I'll tell you later, Tyro. Ah, damn it. Everyone come to me. Teleport. Better not forget that. He's yoinking Yord and Elarra? Yord and Elarra. Yord and Uller? Hurry, Tyro. I'm coming. Oh, I'm coming. He doesn't sound like the yeah, wrong voice. Take us to the rabbit, please. You're going to end there, aren't you? You're not. Oh, bless you. Okay. Are we back? Tyro, you're safe. Gwen, Gwen. That evil voice was the voice of Psoon. Sid, and Psoon. It looks like everyone made it in one piece. But no sign of the Shadowsmith. What was that burst of magic from the Shadowsmith? Was that why Shadowsmith wanted the dampening thing to protect himself from getting overwhelmed? The power of chaos. Eek. A rabbit? I am no rabbit. I am Namingway. So you see him too, Elarra? Too, Tyro? Huh? Only Elarra could see Namingway up until now, Kupo. Really? Who are you? It is not the time to discuss such matters. The one bound by fate is somewhere in this kingdom. You must find him. He is not himself. What does that mean? His mind has been seized by a force once sealed away. Yeah, this is where I thought it was going. One of the fell gods of the minions of chaos. The minions of chaos? I've heard that before. Make haste, for the end of the world is nigh. Of course it is. You can now go to Minions of Chaos. I'll be honest, I'm a little disappointed that they're invoking Minions of Chaos. Like, I don't know. I think it would have been cooler if there was no Puppet Master, if it was just Tyro regretted, if it was just Tyro having gone down a path where he regretted his past and has turned into something, I don't know. I don't like the idea of when a villain is just possessed by evil. It's far more interesting to me when it's their own choices purely that cause them to become a villain. But again, that's more just me fanficking it a little bit with what I think might have been cooler. I think this is still incredibly neat. So better than I was expecting from this. So yeah, that's going to be it for this session. This was a long one because this is going through the entirety of Play of Light and Shadow, but just focusing on the record keeper-y parts. And next time we'll continue that with Minions of Chaos, Chapter 5. And as I am speaking, part of the reason I'm doing this more sped up version is because the game ends in 5 days. So yeah, that's why I'm doing that. So anyway, I'll see you all later. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed it, like, subscribe, leave a comment, let me know what you think. Have a great day. Bye-bye.